Welcome to week 6 of the Adobe Train the Trainer course. This week's video is about the introduction to the course structure. We're not going to actually get into much of a tutorial here for software simply because it would take far too long to go through every single step that you need to know for the entire course. It is a 10-week course, and every week your instructor is going to walk you through all the different tools and components of the software that you're going to need for your assignments. But you will need to know where to find things. And so every student that is enrolled in the course is going to have access to this folder in Google Drive. So let's take a look at this. The folder is called Introduction to Compositing, and I'm just going to go through these in order, even though they're not really in the order that you're probably going to use them. The first folder is your portfolio project, and in here you'll find an assignment for your final week of the course. That's week 10. And that particular assignment will be your portfolio piece. So it's where you'll showcase all the things that you've learned, and you'll be able to drop it right in here. The resources folder, inside of it, there's videos and web links, and these resources are also going to be linked up on the course website, and they're basically extra tidbits of information for you so that you can do a little bit more above and beyond work with compositing. The exemplars folder has student and professional exemplars in them. All the student exemplars are from previous students. The rubrics folder has two folders in it. One is for self-assessments, and you do one of those each week as you go through each of the projects. And then there's an assessment rubrics folder, which will have a breakdown of what you're being marked on for each of the weekly assignments, including the portfolio piece. After that, we've got our software tutorials, and they come in two forms, in PDF and in video format. So every week we go through quite a bit with the software. Your instructor is going to do a screen recording of those tools or whatever it is that they're covering with software, so that if you happen to forget or you miss a day or you just need to review this, you can always go back and check it out here. There will be PDF versions of some of the work, but most of it will be video. Last couple things here are your assignments. There's a folder for each week, and in each of those you'll find a PDF with your assignments in it. And then last, but certainly not least, is the assets folder, where you're going to find vector and raster graphic files that will be used for your projects. Now, you are entitled to use your own pieces of vector or raster graphics work, but it does have to belong to you. So we want to make sure that you are aware that we can't be infringing on copyright while we're going through the course. So the next thing I'm going to do is I just want to open up Photoshop real quick and do a quick little talk about what to expect in that first few days of the course. And then your instructor will walk you through the tools as you jump right in. So here we have a working file, an example of a composite in Photoshop. And what I wanted to show you was some of the things that you're going to be using more than anything else in the course. So just kind of a heads up before you jump into the course, what to expect. I mean, if you're signing up for this course and you can look at the prerequisite and co-requisites for it, you should have some experience with Photoshop. So if we look at the toolbox on the side here, there are a number of tools that we're going to be using. Definitely our marquee tools, our lasso tools, the magic wand, quick selection tools. We're going to be using healing brush tools, our stamp tools. We'll also use eraser tools, probably our gradient paint bucket tools, and then other tools like our dodge and burn and sponge tools. And of course, we're going to be using our colors and our quick masks. So if you're not familiar with these, don't fret. The folders that I talked about previously will have tutorials for every single one of those tools. So if you haven't used one before or you're not super familiar with it, you'll get a refresher that way. Now, whenever you're working with tools, and this is something you should probably already know, up on the top here, there are different options for those tools as you use them. And you should become familiar with those as well, because as we move through the course, we will be jumping around and adjusting some of the tools. The other thing I think, which is probably an area that most of you are familiar with if you've worked in Photoshop, is the layers palette. And we will use this extensively. And as you can see here, I've got a number of layers. I've got my background layer, I've got some layers with images, and shapes and that sort of thing, shape that I've rasterized. And of course, we'll be working with these and we'll show you how we want this laid out. And unfortunately, the example here shows layer 2. We want you to name your layers, but your instructor will go through that with you in the course. But you should become familiar with some of the items in the layer palette, like adding layer styles, vector masks, adjustment fill layers, and then organizing stuff by groups and even creating new layers or deleting them. And we'll also be using our blend options, which are up here, and we'll be creating some pretty neat composites. So if you're not familiar with any of these things down here, like I said previously about the tools, there will be tutorials for each one of those things, and of course as you go through your assignments each week, your instructor will show you how to use those specific tools for that specific assignment, and then you'll end up creating your own composites, much like the one that you're seeing here. So that's kind of it. Brief overview. There are always the drop-down items up here, and there's a ton of stuff in Photoshop. I'm sure if you used it, you know that already. And so, as I mentioned, I hate being redundant, that your instructor will go through whatever tools that you're going to need for the course. And certainly, if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. That's what they're there for. If there's a tool that you want to use or are familiar with that does something in a different way that gets the same result, let your instructor know, and maybe they'll put in another tutorial for other students for them to utilize as well. So good luck with the course, and happy compositing.